Hi, my name is Robbie, and I am the program director at the Donald W. Reynolds Library in Durant, and I am also the leader of the Teen Advisory Board. And one of the things that we do with the Teen Advisory Board is that we man a display near the young adult section where we feature genres, different book series, and we have decided to feature the fantasy genre over the next month or two. And I've decided to highlight 3 different books that we have in our library that are from the fantasy genre, but they're very different. A lot of students who come in will say, "Oh, I don't like fantasy. I don't like anything that's not real. I only want to read, romance, or I only want to read adventure." So I try and take a genre like fantasy that maybe has been pigeonholed into being about sparkly vampires or fairies, and show them that a genre like fantasy can be so much more. So I have 3 books that cover different subgenres inside of fantasy. First book is The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. It's part of a series. After The Monstrumologist, there is The Curse of the Wendigo, and I believe the last one is called Isle of Blood. This book is about a 12-year-old young man named Will Henry. Will Henry finds himself orphaned. His parents are both killed in a fire. No family to take him in, so he is taken in by Dr. Pellinor Warthrope, who is a doctor whom both Will's parents worked for before they died. Now, Dr. Warthrope is a very odd individual, and his studies are very unique. He is a monstrumologist. He studies monsters. And he has taken Will Henry in to become his invaluable assistant. So this book follows Will Henry and the doctor's first adventure hunting a monster called the anthropophagy. A local grave robber shows up in the middle of the night, awakens the doctor and Will, and they are off on an adventure. They have gone to the local graveyard where they are staking out, looking for the anthropophagy, and they've started to dig a hole. The local grave robber named Erasmus Gray becomes very weary and is tired of being there. He's ready to go. "Now I'm leaving, and if you want to ride back to town, you'll come with me." He laid his rifle at our feet and started to scramble out of the hole, but Erasmus Gray never made it out of the hole. A massive claw, easily twice the size of a human hand, with a 2-inch gray razor-sharp barb on the end of each corpse-white digit, burst through the dirt beneath his feet, followed by the bald, muscular arm flecked with black soil and white stone. And then, like some nightmarish leviathan rising from the deep, the broad shoulders broke the undulating earth, those terrible, unblinking black eyes glittering in the glancing glow of the torch. The yawning maw stuck with 3-inch fangs in the middle of the creature's triangular torso, snapping as a shark's when excited by the scent of blood in the water. The claw wrapped around the old man's upper thigh. The barbs sunk into his leg. But Erasmus Gray never got out of that hole. So this book is, the subgenre would be suspense, thriller. Follow Will Henry and the doctor and their adventure to hunt down and take down the anthropophagy, which is terrorizing the local. Next book is Shiver. This book is by Maggie Stiefwater. This is a fantasy book, but in the subgenre of romance. So a lot of the young ladies look for the romance books, and this is a good romance book, and it's different. The main character is a young teenage girl named Grace, Grace doesn't have a lot of friends. She has a few close friends, but she had an accident when she was younger. She was attacked by some wolves. And ever since then, she feels very drawn to the wolves that live in the woods behind her house. And then she meets a young man named Sam. I reached for it at the same time as Grace, and it was just one of those perfect movie moments where the hands touch and you know the characters are going to kiss. Only this time, it was my arm somehow accidentally circling her, pinning her against the counter as I reached for the toast, and bracing against the edge of the fridge as I leaned forward. Lost in the embarrassment over my bumbling, I didn't even realize it until it was the perfect moment, until I saw Grace's eyes close, face lifted toward mine. I kissed her. Just the barest brush of my lips against hers. Nothing animal. Even in that moment, I deconstructed the kiss. Her possible reactions to, or possible interpretations of, the way it made me shudder tightened my skin. The seconds between when I touched her lips and when she opened her eyes. Then Grace smiled at me. This book is very unique in that the story is told mainly from Grace's perspective, but you also get to hear from Sam. This book, once again from the fantasy genre, but very much a romance. They follow Grace and Sam's relationship and how different it is because Sam is a wolf. He's one of the wolves that lives in the woods and is one of the ones that Grace has been drawn to all these years. But Sam's time in his mortal form is becoming less and less. As he grows older, the times when he shifts from wolf to human have become less frequent, and the amount of time he stays in his human form is shorter. So this follows their relationship and how they fight to keep it alive. It is also part of a trilogy. After Shiver comes Linger, and then Forever. Once again, Shiver by Maggie Steepwater. Our last book is called White Cat, and it is, again, a fantasy book, but this is a mystery fantasy. White Cat is by Holly Black, again, part of a trilogy. White Cat, Red Glove, and then Black Heart. This book is about a main character named Castle, a young man who comes from a unique family con artist. Being a con artist means thinking that you're smarter than everyone else and that you've thought of everything. That you can get away with anything, that you can con anyone. I wish I could say that I don't think about the con when I deal with people, but the difference between me and my mother is that I don't con myself. See, Castle, unlike his other family members, is not a curse worker. So curse workers are special types of con artists that have supernatural powers. The power of touch, they can persuade people. They can alter their memories, change their luck, change their feelings. Castle does not have any of these powers. So this story is where he struggles to figure out who he is, why he's different, and what exactly is going on. His brothers are acting weird. He's starting to have these really weird spells where he's sleepwalking, waking up in weird places, and the roof of the school he's at. In addition to this burden of being different and not being like anyone else, he is also haunted by the memory of killing his friend Lila, possibly a love interest, somebody he had really strong feelings for. So this book follows along as he struggles to figure out what's going on, why he's different, why he's sleepwalking, what is the deal with his two brothers acting weird, and why does this white cat keep showing? Again, White Cat by Holly Black. Thank you very much.